Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is Leslie, and for today's video I wanted to film a yearly book review. So I have enjoyed reading since I was a little girl, and in 2019 I made it my priority to read. Even if I was busy or whatever was going on, I told myself I wanted to read at least 3 books. Let's just get started. But before I get started, I just want to say real quick, and my hair is a mess. I'm sorry. Like, if you guys haven't noticed, I feel like in every video my hair is a mess because I have naturally curly hair and I don't like putting heat in it, so I just kind of like let it air dry. But then I make a video and I'm like, okay, you know what, my hair looks fine, and then I edit the video and then it looks like trash, and I'm like, so really hoping it looks good. If it doesn't, well, you know what, I don't even like hair, so who cares. Let's get started. Okay, so how I mentioned before, in 2019, I told myself I wanted to read at least 3 books. And just so I wouldn't have any excuse of, oh, I don't know what book to read, I wrote down 3 books to buy and to read. So let's get started. So one of the books that I told myself I wanted to read was Big Magic. This book has quickly become my all-time favorite book ever. I actually made a blog post about this book where I go more in depth of how this book is fucking amazing. So if you guys want to go check it out, go to my Instagram at @SendMyMindFree, and I talk about it. So go check it out. This book is by Elizabeth Gilbert. She's the author of Eat, Pray, and Love, and that is a book that's a memoir that she wrote. And it just talks about divorce and finding herself, traveling, getting married again. Really good book. It was, I think, almost over a decade ago. I didn't read the book, but I have watched the movie on Netflix and it is so good. I totally recommend. Elizabeth Gilbert just talks about her own journey with being creative, and she kind of includes other stories of other people in that industry, and it's just so good to read. This book really made me want to read many books that she has written because she is just such a good author. And I'm so happy, so beyond happy, I actually picked this book up. So the next book I want to talk about is this one right here, Milk and Honey. I know, such a basic book. I feel like every girl has read this, but it's for a good reason. So Milk and Honey is basically just like a lot of poems. And the author, I can't say it, Rupi Kaur, I don't know. This book is honest and truthful in a way that's scary and sad. It's a book that is worth getting sad over, if that makes sense. This book just tells you things that you will relate to and that will hurt you and will like make you remember things you've gone through and will have you feeling down. But it's worth it because the book is just so liberating in such a weird way, because you feel okay. You feel like, oh my god, look at all these people who are also going through what I'm going through, who are also feeling the same way I am, and you just feel more free, more okay, more, I guess, just fine. You really do. So again, I totally recommend this book. Go pick it up. I know it's such a basic, but it's such a basic for a good ass reason, so go get it. So the next book that I read, I don't have it with me. It's The Crucible. I read it for my English class. If you guys don't know, The Crucible talks about the Salem witch trial that happened in, I forgot the year, but it happened. It's such a good book because it's just kind of talks about what really happened. Until I read that book, I didn't really know what actually went down. I just thought, oh, bunch of witches who got killed. But no, it's a bunch of innocent people who got killed because of a little like thing that little girl started. You know, it's such a good book if you're into all that stuff. I never finished reading the book. I didn't read like a chapter or two, like the last 2 chapters. It was a very good book, but I don't think I would ever go back and finish the book just because I don't want to. Like, it's interesting, but not that interesting to make me go back and read it. So the next book I also read for my English class is The Narrative of Frederick Douglass, an American Slave. This book was so good. I'm pretty sure this is like a book that everybody reads in high school, I'm guessing. This book just talks about Frederick Douglass. You know, he wrote it. It's just about everything that happened in his lifetime. I feel like we all think we know what happened during slavery, like, oh yeah, they were bad, blah blah blah, but it's not like until you read one of these books and you know what someone felt. Like, you read it and this person straight up like, oh, you know, they just talk about it, that you really like, wow, like this happened to many people, and we just sometimes take it for granted that we have freedom, you know, when years and years ago not everyone had freedom and they had to work every day. I just feel like it's such a good book to read, and I feel like everybody should read this book at least once. I would totally be down to read the book again. It's just that good. The last book I'm going to be talking about, I didn't finish reading, and it is You Are a Badass, How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living an Awesome Life. Yay! I could never get into this book. I tried getting into this book like 3 times, and look, there you can see my bookmark. I would stop like not even halfway through the book. It was what, page 39 when I just gave up. And trust me when I say I tried reading this book many times. I would finish reading like one book and then I try to read this one and then I couldn't, so then I'd start reading another book and then I'd finish that one and start reading this book again, and I just couldn't, like I really couldn't, and it sucks because I really like books that like inspire me. So when I saw this book, I was like, oh my god, I have to get it, like it's gonna inspire me to be a better me and all this stuff. But then like it can't inspire me if I only get to page 39, you know. These 3 books are the books I had on my list to read for 2019. Okay, so that is it for the books I read in 2019. I know it's a little bit on the shorter side, but this is my first like book review that I ever filmed. I told myself at the beginning of this year that I want to read at least 5 books. I'm going to talk really quickly about what books I put on my list for this year. The first book is Eat, Pray, and Love. I talked about it. It was written by Elizabeth Gilbert, the author of Big Magic. So again, that's just a book that according to the movie that I saw, like it was really good. The next book is To Kill a Mockingbird. I know most people read this in their high school English class. I don't know when I'm going to read this. I'm already a junior and I haven't read it. So this is a book I'm very interested in reading. I feel like it's such a classic. You can't go wrong with it. I just really want to. The next book is City of Girls, also by the author of Big Magic. So it's by Elizabeth Gilbert. So I just really want to read that book. Next book is The Queen of Hearts. I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. I have no idea what this book is about. I just saw a lot of people like talk about it and say it was good, and the like cover was interesting and like the title was interesting, so I was like, yeah, I'll go for it. The last book that I have on my list is The 4 Agreements. So this book, I have heard so many people talk about it. Such like an inspirational book, and it just helps you like be more grounded with yourself. At first I wasn't gonna put it on the list because the cover doesn't look so interesting, and I know like you can't judge a book by its cover, but I always do that and I don't like that about myself, but I do it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button to let me know, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Bye.